Kenma Kojum was a damaged soul. His life has atrocity after warping his point of view of the world. His parents were dead, his friends were almost non-existent, and his body was frail and weak. But he didn't give up. He still volunteered at homeless shelter, hospital, and blood drives. He still tried his best for his grades in college, and he still loved without abandon. But he did it all without a smile on his face or a kind word out of his mouth. He was currently sitting in a restaurant alone. He could feel eyes on his back silently judging him. Wanting it to stop, he turned to look at the couple, who quickly averted their gaze in guilt. Why is he sitting all by himself? It's pathetic. The woman whispered to her partner, who nodded in agreement. Maybe he got stood up or something. He looks like the type that wouldn't get any attention. The man's words stung Kenma, who winced when he heard this. The woman smirked. Looked at his dye job. Can he not afford hair dye or something? They kept their biting remarks repeatedly, not even caring about the volume of their voices anymore. It was beginning to attract some other customers' attention, who looked at Kenma with pity. Tears began to prick at the corner of his eyes, but he remained silent. Some other people joined in, talking about how pathetic he was. He knew they were right. He was pathetic and no one loved him. He should do the whole world a favor and choose. Sorry I'm late babe, I got caught up at work. A deep voice told Kenma as a man sat in front of him. He had coal-black eyes which pierced into his soul with an alarming intensity. His hair was as black as his eyes, which was artfully messy and hung over his right eye like a curtain. He smiled widely and propped his head on his hand, his handy's face looking at Kenma with a bemused expression. Who are you? Kenma whispered so only the strange man could hear. I'm trying to help you, just go with it. He said almost hiss-like, and Kenma understood perfectly. Thank you for the apology. Kenma said semi-loudly and smiled sweetly. He could have sworn he saw a slight pink tint on the stranger's cheeks, but he passed it off as it just being the lighting. As they spoke, Kenma could feel the people's eyes around him not burning with pity or disgust but with jealousy. It didn't make him feel good, but it didn't feel horrible either to know that at least they wouldn't think he was a loser anymore. Can I take your orders, sirs? A waitress approached them. She had gorgeous blue eyes and striking white hair, and Kenma was sure that the man would flirt with her. Instead, he responded politely. I'll take a steak extra rare, please. Kenma raised an eyebrow at his request. What was he, a werewolf? Kenma thought. The waitress thanked him and turned to Kenma. He scanned the menu one last time before deciding on chicken parmesan. Kenma was still extremely nervous around this stranger, and he wasn't sure if it was his insanely good looks or his weird personality. My name is Kuro Tetsuro, by the way. The man Kuro introduced himself. Kenma nodded and softly responded. Kenma, Kojum. He mumbled. That's a gorgeous name. I've never met a Kenma before. Kuro seemed genuine, but Kenma perceived it as poor flirting skills. Nonetheless, Kenma could feel his face heating up. Thank you. Kenma muttered, not being used to much interaction. Kuro could tell Kenma wasn't doing very well with this fancy atmosphere. Hey, wanna get out of here? I know a place by the boardwalk that does amazing fireworks. Kuro said gently, as if he were afraid of scaring Kenma away. Kenma raised his head sharply, bewildered by his request. Why do you want to spend time with me? I'm not special and you don't even know me. Kenma reminded him. That's why I'm inviting you out, kitten. Because I want to know you. Kuro said this like it was the most obvious statement he'd ever. Kenma could feel his face blushing 50 different shades of red at this point. Oh, I see. I don't see why not then. Kuro had guided Kenma throughout the town, showing him places the other had never dared to get close to. It was a thrilling experience, and Kenma had felt like he'd known him for years. Now they were standing along the boardwalk watching the fireworks go ahead of them. There were wooden boats full of smiling people passing them go. Kenma turned to Kuro, whose face was illuminated by the reds, greens, and blues of the lights above them. Thank you so much for everything you've done tonight. Kuro touched Kenma's face softly and started to bring Kenma's face close to his. Normally Kenma would pull away and run. But something about Kuro's personality dragged Kenma in, like someone was pulling him down into a pool of water. But Kuro missed his face and went straight to his neck. Kenma felt immense pain and black spot danced across his vision. The spots got larger and his body fell limp and unconscious. The end.